Grit was really the impetus in forming Borealis Records. Uh, we had finished an album, A Few Simple Words, and Grit was sending it around to record companies in the States, and they were saying, well, this is a beautiful record. Isn't there anyone up in Canada who will release this? You know, that's where you're based, that's where you're most known. And it was kind of like a light bulb moment for Grit, I think, in that, hey, we should start a record company. And you know, Ken's releasing records, and I was doing things with other artists, and at that point, both Paul Mills and Bill Garrett were on the verge of leaving the CBC, you know, where they had both had a long and very fruitful association. And so the idea was to bring together the four of us and see if we could combine all our interests and talents in such a way as to really create something that would fill a vacuum in the Canadian folk music scene. So Grit really was the impetus for forming Borealis, and I think that he brings to the role of running a record company that same desire to try and do it right, and to do right by the artist, and to do right by the community, and you know, try and make it viable. And certainly he's interested in the long-term success of the label so that it can continue to function and continue to put out records. But as he said to me, you know, there may be too many CDs out there, but there's never too much good music. So, you know, and I think that's kind of a bit of the way he looks at the whole thing, that as long as there are so many artists making really wonderful, unique music, he really feels that he can help fill a role by supporting that process in running a record company. The other quality that maybe he also brings to this that we haven't touched on yet is kind of that endurance, the ability to kind of stick with something, to see it through to the end, and that kind of commitment that allows him to say, this is an idea worth fighting for, and I want to continue to support this idea and really see it happen. So that I think is a really important quality that he brings to whatever organization. So as well as trying to do it right, as well as trying to serve the greater good and seeing himself as part of this whole, and seeing all of us, you know, trying to encourage all of us to see ourselves as part of this whole, and that we all contribute to the well-being of the whole. And then is that ability to stick with something and see it through, make sure that it actually happens, and try and see it grow and achieve those goals for which it was created.